off our Friday afternoon talking about mortgages. Why wouldn't we? We have Teague Brinkworth joining us. It's great to see you here.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, I was just told by Bill, actually, that a fixed 5-year has actually just been reduced by a little bit. What does that mean?
It's actually reduced below around 2.99%. So Bank of Montreal came out with that just to start the market off, same thing as in 2010. So they've kind of, I'm not going to say, well, I'm going to say it, pestered a little bit. The new finance minister, Joe Oliver, we'll see how he reacts to that, because Flaherty beforehand was actually sitting there and calling up the bank saying, stop it. This is not my mandate. I want to slow things down a little bit.
What was the stamp that Jim Flaherty left on our economy, would you say, and on interest rates and mortgages?
Recently, it was more that of caution. If we scale back a little bit and we start to qualify things at higher rates, meanwhile allowing people to still pay the lower rates, then we'll move forward better. To simplify that, if you don't have the money and you can't afford the mortgage, we're not going to have you buy the home. It's almost like a father and son thing. Granted, my dad, when you see something that is going to happen, you kind of throw in a couple of roadblocks for the kid so that he doesn't end up where he would have ended up if he just was left to his own. Right.
But from my understanding, despite Jim Flaherty trying to convince Canadians to be more conservative and a little bit more cautious, the bank still found a way to move around that.
It's about market share. Flaherty had 40-year amortizations. We brought it down to 35. All of a sudden, rates decreased so that the segment of the market that was removed from purchasing homes were actually then back in it. So then what he did is he tried to do another guideline. Let's decrease the amortizations again. Let's use the Bank of Canada conventional rate. So if you're variable or if you have a 4-year or less mortgage, you're looking at qualifying at 4.99%, but still getting the benefits of, say, a 2.35% variable.
I know every situation is different, but for somebody who was to walk into your office tomorrow and say, we're first-time home buyers, we're thinking about getting a mortgage, should we go fixed or variable? When you hear about the Bank of Montreal reducing their 5-year, it's tempting, but variable right now is also an excellent way to go. How do you advise people?
It's one about risk tolerance. I don't ever tell anybody, you have to go this way, you have to go that way. Excuse me. It's about gauging the person's risk tolerance and also seeing what's going to happen, say, for the next year, year and a half, and setting up a strategy around that.
Right. What are we seeing for the next year or so?
Economists mainly are just saying to mid-2015, maybe even late 2015, we should be seeing low rates. Prime shouldn't adjust too much. But with that Bank of Canada conventional rate in 2010, when BMO did this last time, with the 5 years, those are actually coming up for renewal now. So 5 years in the future, historically low rates for the last couple of years, we're into 2016, 2017. Now, granted, things change all the time, but we're not in any position that we can have 5.5%, 6% rates. So we're probably looking within that 3.5%, 4%, 4.25%.
So good news for people who like to ride the variable wave. I am one of those people. I'm variable. I get stressed out sometimes, but right now I don't feel any stress, so
it's a good way to go.
Yeah. We only have about a minute left. I want to take a minute to talk about the Mortgage Center. You guys are located downtown on Victoria Street.
Definitely.
Tell me a little bit about how you guys do things differently.
The Mortgage Center is Canada-wide. There's over 1,440 agents. We have 8 of those in our office. And we also have a branch in High Level. The Mortgage Center, we look at it not as a deal. It's not a transaction. What it is a way of helping people pay down their mortgage to zero. So with that comes strategies, with that comes planning, and not just, thank you, here's a 5-year fixed, aren't you happy we got it for you? So it's more in the planning, and it's more in the people.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we're going to have you on a few times more in the future. Yes. So we're all going to get a little bit of education on mortgages, interest rates, how to make good choices. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Susan.
Yeah. If you have questions for Teague Brinkworth, great guy. Information on the screen. There's 2 different websites I put up there, Teague. I hope that's okay. But mortgagesbc.ca is the one he says to go to. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
Thank you.